Hello, my name is Hunter Wallace, and I'm making this video to explain to my fellow conservatives why Mitt Romney lost the 2012 election. The data I'm about to show to you came from the New York Times and the CNN exit polls. So you can go to the New York Times website and the CNN website and look at this data and confirm it for yourself and draw your own conclusions. You can always double check this, in other words. In the state of Florida, 61% of the white people who voted in the 2012 election voted for Mitt Romney. But it seems that 95% of the blacks who voted chose Barack Obama. The blacks were 13% of the electorate in the state of Florida, and that's why Mitt Romney lost the close race there. In Virginia, 61% of the whites who voted, they voted for Mitt Romney, but 93% of the blacks voted for Obama, and 20% of the electorate in Virginia was black, so that's why Mitt Romney lost the state of Virginia. In Pennsylvania, 57% of the whites in Pennsylvania voted for Mitt Romney, but 93% of the blacks voted for Obama, and blacks were 13% of the electorate, and that's why Romney lost Pennsylvania. In the decisive battleground state of Ohio, in Ohio, just like Pennsylvania, 57% of the whites voted for Mitt Romney. But 96% of the blacks who turned out, they voted for Obama, and the blacks were 15% of the electorate, and that's why Mitt Romney lost the state of Ohio. In Michigan, 55% of the whites who voted voted for Romney, but 95% of the blacks voted for Obama, and in Michigan, the blacks were, it looks like, 16% of the electorate. So, Mitt Romney won the white vote in these 5 key swing states pretty decisively. But he lost all of them because the blacks came out and voted 93 to 96% against him. Now, think back, if you're an elderly Tea Party baby boomer conservative, I want you to think back to, I believe it was the year 1963, when Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech. And how did it go? It went something like, I wish to live in a country where people are judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. Now, if you're a millennial or a Gen X voter like me, I'm right on the borderline between those two generations. You clearly remember Barack Obama's 2008 campaign and how he campaigned as the candidate of hope and change, and he was going to create a post-racial society, and he was going to move America beyond race. Well, it looks like from the exit poll data in the 2008 and 2012 election that all that talk about colorblindness and post-racialism, it was a con. There is no post-racial society. There is no society where we're judged by the content of our character instead of the color of our skin. The blacks are judging by color of skin and by the ability of whatever candidate can give them the most stuff. And that's why you see the blacks coming out and voting 93 to 96% for or even higher in the 2008 election for Barack Obama. And that's why Mitt Romney and John McCain lost the 2008 election and 2012 election. Now, if you've been watching the news for the past 2 years, you've probably heard about the flash mob phenomena. Anyway, the flash mobs are large groups of African American youths who descend on convenience stores or department stores like Nordstrom's out in Portland, or in places like Chicago, they'll storm the bus and beat up people and steal their cell phones and rob them. Well, what happened in the 2012 election is that the black people showed up on election day in places like Cleveland, in places like Philadelphia, in parts of Florida, and parts of Virginia, and of course the D in Michigan. And what these black people did is that they flash voted the polls, and that's why Mitt Romney lost the 2012 election. And no one else on Fox News or any of these cable television channels will look at this data and explain to their audience that the blacks are flash voting, and unless whites vote together in great enough numbers, unless they see the flash vote coming, like they do in Mississippi, where 89% of the whites in 2008 and 2012, they saw the flash vote coming, and even though blacks were 38% of the electorate in Mississippi, they were able to stop them. And the same was true in Alabama, where 90% of the whites in 2008 and 84% of the whites in 2012 voted against Obama because they saw the flash vote coming. So the takeaway of this video for my fellow Southern conservatives and beyond is that in 2016 the black flash voters are going to come back, and you need to be aware of that, and you need to look at how the flash voters were stopped in Alabama and Mississippi, or else the Democrats are going to win the next election. Thank you.